does being autistic affect me in my daily life as an adult? Let's talk about it. Typically, we see how being autistic as a child shows up in their life. You may have seen autistic children, throw meltdowns. They have sensory issues. They have problems communicating, and lots of other things. But you typically see that with children. But how does that show up in an adult life? Do we still have meltdowns? Do we have those sensory issues? Yes, we do. In my life, keep in mind that this is just my experience. No two autistic persons will be the same. So you may relate to some of the things that I'm saying, and you may not relate to some of the things that I'm saying. Like I said, no two autistic persons will be the same. So according to the DSM-5, the criteria for a autism diagnosis, a person, I'm going to say person even though it's listed as child, a person must have deficits in 3 areas of social communication and also 2 or 4 types. Let's talk about how those social deficits present in my life. For one, I don't know how to do small talk. Typically, I try to avoid situations that will involve small talk, such as meeting new people. I hate meeting new people because it seems like it's understood that small talk has to happen, and I hate small talk. I don't know how to do it. Usually I'll remain silent. If I don't remain silent and I feel that pressure to actually go ahead and do the small talk, I do have things that are, and I'll typically say, hey, how are you? Or I'll say something about the weather or something, but that is not natural to me. 2, I don't know how to keep a conversation going. For example, if someone asks me how am I doing, I'll just answer fine, but I won't ask them in return how they're doing. So the conversation stops at that point because I haven't asked them how they are doing, which is typically understood that should be the next motion. So that is definitely a struggle that I've had. I've been in a lot of awkward situations, especially if there's more than one person in the room. I cannot keep up with the conversation. I'm pretty much gonna be silent till they stop including me. Also, constant communication can be very exhausting for me. I'll get to the point where I no longer can mask and I become very flat and withdrawn, which is pretty much normal for me, actually. Even when I record my videos, it's a form of masking because it's just what I'm used to. Okay, so now I want to talk about nonverbal deficits and what that looks like in my life. Okay, so nonverbal deficits would be, how your body language is, your mannerisms or lack thereof, maintaining eye contact. For me, I do have a problem maintaining eye contact. It can be very difficult for me, especially if I don't know you. Now, if I do feel comfortable around you, I can maintain eye contact to a certain extent. But if you're someone that's a stranger or someone that's I'm just uncomfortable with, I'm gonna have a hard. Also, I may lack facial expressions. For example, if I'm excited, it may not show on my face that I am actually excited. And sometimes I really hate that, because if someone gives me a gift and I'm like, oh, thank you, I really appreciate it. And I really do appreciate it. But my face doesn't show that. It's so sometimes I have to convey that to a person that, hey, I do like your gift. I am appreciative of your gift, even if my face doesn't say that. The third deficit is maintaining relationships. So how does that present in my life? One, I would say that it's very hard for me to maintain relationships, mostly because I already have social deficits, and also it's hard for me to reach out to people. I don't know why. Well, I guess it's because I'm autistic, but I'll give you an example of what I mean. When I did my assessment, one of the questions was, did I treat my family members like I would as coworkers? And I answered yes to that, because I have 3 sisters and it's hard for me to connect with them. And I do talk to them as if I would be talking to someone I hadn't met before, or like a coworker or something. Very informal. And I hate that feeling that I get when I'm around my sisters, and I do want to connect with them, and I don't want them to feel a certain type of way. But with my autism, I do have a hard time connecting with my family members. I mostly will not reach out, and I have to reassure them that, hey, I do love you. Please do not take me not reaching out as personal, because it's not personal. I literally don't reach out to anyone, and it just doesn't come to my mind. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. So yeah, if you're one of my sisters and you're watching this video, I love you guys. If you agree with what I'm saying, comment and let them know exactly what I'm talking about, because they know. All right, so the other thing is, I also find it very difficult to make friends. I only have one friend that I am in constant contact with, and really our friendship has lasted because she has always understood me, even before I received my autism diagnosis. She accepted me as I was. She knew there would be times where I would be nonverbal. That was okay. We could just sit in a room and not talk. She's scrolling on her phone. I'm scrolling on my phone. Sometimes we sit on the phone and we're literally not even talking to each other, but we're just on the phone with each other. Also, she doesn't take it personal that I may not reach out to her. Typically, she'll reach out first, and that's okay. But some people may feel like, oh, I'm always the first one to reach out, so I'm not going to reach out. And she doesn't do that because she knows that it's not going to come to my mind to always reach out. It's just not. I think it's something to do with object permanence. Like if it's not, it's pretty much out of sight, out of mind, basically. And I kind of hate that about me. So there are other things that I need to go over, but I don't want to make this video too long, especially since this is my first video in about 3 or 4 months. Some of you know that my husband passed away about 3 months ago due to complications of COVID. If I seem overly happy or jolly, I'm really not. It's just my happy pill is working. If you know, you know. But yes, I am very saddened by my husband's death, but I do want to get back into the routine of creating and making a new life for myself now that I've lost my husband. I will do an update video if you guys want that, where I can share that experience. If you do comment below, I'll be happy to do that video. No, I will not be happy to do that video, but I will do it. Okay, you guys are going to see my personality in this video. What else? Oh yeah. If you related with anything that I said, please comment and tell me about your experience. If your issues show up different in your life, then comment and let me know. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.